Right, welcome back to the shed. Thanks for joining me again. This one is another little project I've been asked to make for someone on behalf of someone else. It's a little anniversary gift and it's basically a letter opener. So this is one that I've made basically out of a bit of ply, just to sort of essentially make a template and see if the customer liked the style of it. And I also made one that actually looked more like a knife. Doesn't have to have the guard there or anything else, obviously it's only for a letter opener. I mean, you could use it if you wanted to as a display item. It's personal choice, but it does have a purpose. So I've played around with some of the scrap woods that I've got. As you guys know, I like to keep some scrap woods around, and it's working out. So I've got some of the redwood left over from one of the lamp tables that I made with the built-in light. Hopefully you guys will watch that video. If not, go over and give it a watch. But that's one of them. I had these little battens sitting around, so I'm going to make a couple out of that. I've got a bit of, this was Kiat, so it's an African hardwood. It's only a smaller piece, so I'm going to make another one out of that, but obviously it will be smaller. I've got some purple heart as a scrap, that's a nice big chunk. I think that's the one that will be going to the customer in the end, but keep peeled and we'll see what happens, see what they go for. I have a bit of walnut, which is always nice. I have a bit of African rosewood. I really like that one. I really like the smell of that when you cut that. I have a couple of scraps of oak, and then I have a bigger scrap of oak. This is a bit of a, it may seem a bit daft to use something this size for some of them lines, because I could make another actual sword out of it. However, it's a bit jaggedy. It's been cut here, and it is just a bit of scrap at the end of the day. So that will be used for that as well. I'll cut that down. So that's the plan. So I've got some roughly marked out. I've got a couple of little different styles on that, so I'm not sure how that one's going to go. But I've got them roughed out. I don't know if you can see them. Just in pencil. You can't really see it on that. You see them. You can't really see it on any. Like that. So the next step is to move to the bandsaw. I'm going to roughly cut them out, and then I'll get my bench sander up, and then we can start shaping them and go from there. So as you can see, now I've got a nice little selection of blanks ready to go. So we have to just get into the shaping of it all now. So I'm going to set up my bench sander, and then I'll start knocking some of these out. But I will show you the process that I go through with maybe like one of the different styles. I've added this sort of style just as something a bit different. I don't know whether it will stay there in the end or whether what will happen with it, I'm not sure. But I just thought something a little bit different. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so this part, like I said in the last clip, should have been me using the belt sander to actually shape all the letter openers. For whatever reason, whether it's me accidentally deleting the video, I don't know. It could have also been a case that I didn't push record like I thought I had. Whatever reason, it's gone. If you do want to watch how I shape these sort of things though, you can always go over and watch the sword video where I make 2 different swords. I shape these little letter openers in very much the same way as I did with those. So it gives you a bit more of an in-depth look as to what I do with them. Hopefully you're enjoying the video. Hopefully you will end up subscribing at the end of it, as it all helps out. Anyway, carry on enjoying, and see you in a bit. So this is the last stages of sanding. This is down to 240 now, and then it's going to be a mixture of coatings is what I've decided to do with these. I'm going to do some Danish wood and some. I think I'm going to do Danish wood more on the oak. I might keep a couple of the oak to the side and use my wood wax on it as well. If you didn't know, I make my own wood wax as well. If you guys want any, let me know. But it's on the website as well. But so yeah, so some will have the Danish wool coating on them. Some will have a wood wax on them. And we'll take it from there and see what they come up like. But so far, they're coming along quite nice. The one that is going to be a present for someone has been earmarked, but there is potential for a couple of them to be gone to as presents. I believe it was for a 50-year anniversary for a family member's good friend for his wife, so happy anniversary. I know it's been gone already. So that was the idea for these. That's what they asked me to make, a letter opener, which is where these have come into it. But me being me, I have to play around with different styles and different woods and whatnot. So that's why I went ahead and made several different styles. So some are more knife looking, some are more letter opener looking, or envelope opener, whatever you want to call it, letter opener. I've got this one which I quite like, it's quite cool. It's got a little bit in there, but you can hold it several different ways. Some are maybe a little bit more aggressive than what some people would like. However, I like my swords, my knives, other bits and pieces like that. So I like to make some things actually look like something. And obviously these are just a display piece. They have a purpose in the fact that you can use them for letter openers, but they can just equally sit on your desk or on a shelf as just a display piece. This one I actually really like. This one's made out of African rosewood. It smells really nice when you cut it, and it just finishes up lovely. So I'm going to carry on. Still have a few to go, 6 or 7 to go. So let's crack on. One thing I like about these redwood ones is, even though it's a hardwood, it's a very soft hardwood, but it carves and shapes really nicely. So you can get it to the rough shape and then use your sandpaper to finish off any fine tuning, really. That's what I've done with all these letter openers. I've just given them a rough sort of shape and then finish them off with a sandpaper or my orbital sander, and now just the final bit by hand. I will be taking these to a little Christmas fade that we do. Done it for the last couple of years. It's only a small one in a local church to where we are, but it's nice. Get to know the people a little bit. I was quite surprised last year, some of my boards actually sold quite well there. I wasn't expecting that because it's only a small one, like I say. So I'm actually going to make a few more boards because I've actually sold out of all my boards now, which I'm quite happy with. So I'm going to end up doing a few more boards, so there will be a video on that as well. I have a mixture of different woods that I want to use for them. I've not got into the experimenting with the crazy wacky 3D boards or anything else like that. Who knows, that might be one further down the line. If you guys would like to see me experiment with something like that, let me know. Drop a comment. It's crazy how sharp you can actually get these knives. Or, I keep calling them knives, letter openers. Stuff like this African rosewood, walnut, or the oak, I do, like I say, I do just run the sandpaper just across the edge of the knife, just to take that sharpness away, because they do get really sharp. These dense hardwoods you can get really, really sharp. I know that because that's what I've done with one of my swords, and they hurt. Ask me how I know. Right, I'll get back to you when I'm ready to do the coating on them. You guys know what sanding's like. Let's crack on. Right, so all the sanding is done now. The next stage is just to put the oil on them. So I've chosen to go with, for some of them anyway, a Danish oil. And it's only a natural one, so it's not going to stain the colour or tie the colour or anything else. So for the likes of the walnut or the purple heart or the African rosewood, it will just bring out that colour on that. I think I will use it on those. And then I've also got, it's not soot, don't worry, it's my wood wax, that was leftover bits. I'm going to use that for some of the others as well, just to see what the difference is as well. Yeah, trying different bits of wood. So I'll try those and a couple maybe of the oak in the oil, and the rest I'll probably do with the wax, just to see what it comes up like. I know what this looks like. This is the redwood. I know what that looks like in the oil. That was what I used to make the side table with the lamp built in. If you haven't seen that video, pop back over and have a look. They'll be on there somewhere. So that's the next bit. Let's crack on. This is where it shows you how much of a child I am, because I can't get through the child blocks. Aha. You can also let me know in the comments, what's your favourite type of finish to use on these sort of woods. You know the woods I've got here, like I say, there's walnut, purple heart, African rosewood, redwood, oak. I think this, from memory, was a piece of Kiat that I had left over. So there's another hardwood as well, another African hardwood. What's your sort of favourite finishes that you like to put on them? Yeah, let's talk. Let's learn stuff. if anyone's interested in any of these, I will eventually at some point get around to updating the website. I don't know if any of you guys go over onto there. I need to make it a bit easier to find, but I'll put some of these on there. If you want any, you can also contact me through here and just let me know. I will say it again, this African rosewood is one of my favourite woods to use, along with the sapele, just because of how the grain runs in it, and just how it is just a really nice hardwood to work with in general. But equally, you can't argue with how nice the oil brings up the purple heart as well. Hey, got a better light in it, yeah, that's better. Really makes the colour on the purple heart pop out. The grain texture sort of stand up as well. Now these will end up having a couple of coats of the oil, and the ones with the wax will have a couple of coats of wax as well. That's all the ones that are having the oil, all coated with oil. So I'll leave that now, and then I'll get onto the wax. Don't worry, there's a little special guest standing in the corner. You can't see him, but they're letting me know that I missed a bit on this one. Too shy for the camera. Not much left. I told you it wasn't soup. It is my wood wax, honest. Now again, that's the redwood with just the wax on it, and it definitely makes it the colour pop again. But it would be nice to compare against the oil to see what the difference really is, if there's any difference at all. Now I know what this looks like, because when I've done the sword is what I use to coat that in as well. Again, if there's another video that you haven't seen, go over and give it a watch. They're all on there. There's a 20 plus videos at the moment on there. Now I do appreciate all the views that you guys do give me, really do appreciate it, and I appreciate all the new followers that have joined me recently. And if you are one of those, again, like I say, really do appreciate it. If you're not to bother, but it would be nice if while you're here watching, just give the video a like, really helps out. Why not just push that button? Thanks. Right, so that now is everything coated. Everything coated with oil and the wax. So I'll probably leave that overnight, let them really soak in, and then come back out tomorrow and give them all another coating. That coat is pretty much done now, so I need to get one of the actual tins of wax out and use that instead. So I'll catch up the next part of the video to show you what the results are of everything after they've had a good buff. Right, back here again, and we're now ready to give these all a good buff up. These were the ones that were coated in oil, these were the ones that were all coated in wax. So I'm going to go over these ones first. They feel really nice to start off with, and I'm sure after a good buff they will feel even nicer, feel nice and smooth. So the customer has also got their eye on one. I won't say as of yet what it is, because it does need a little bit extra customization, but that's the next stage. But that's after this video. If I get the time to, and we do it before I launch this video or put this video up, I'll show you the customized one. If not, I'll try and put it into like a short or something for you guys, so just so you can keep track of all the little projects as well. I know which one I thought they were going to go for, and they completely went a completely different way to what I thought, which I'm quite happy with as well at the same time. But yeah, you guys will find out soon enough. Let's just carry on giving everything a good buff now. Now obviously with the oil ones, it's just taking off whatever leftover residue. It's more of the wax ones that will have a proper buff, because there is a lot of excess wax on them. But they have all turned out really nice actually. I'd like to say I'm pleasantly surprised, but I'm the one that's made them, so I hope they turn out nice. Let me know what you guys think, whether you like them, whether the styles are too aggressive, whether they're too big, too chunky, whatever you may think. Yeah, wrong sorts of woods for you, let me know. So that's the first. I need to get a better light over where you guys are. That's the first one. That's the one in oak. It's had an oil. Number one down. And like I say, with these hardwood ones, well, they're all hardwood, but with some of these ones that are a much denser wood, much harder hardwood, a harder hardwood, the point you can get on them is really aggressive. The edge you can get on them as well, very, very sharp. So if you do attempt to make anything like this, just be careful. I've had myself a couple of times with the point, like I say, they're really sharp. I did blunt them off, but they still seem to stay quite pokey. This is actually one of my favourite ones, just being a little small one. I quite like it. Well, I like most of them, if I'm honest, if not all of them. But that's why I made them in the style I did. I really like the way the oil has brought out the colour in this rosewood one. It's actually got quite a bit of a sheen to the blade as well. Decent, it's nice. Now I know I've said it before, and it is one of my favourite woods to work with to introduce a little bit of colour into things, is the Purple Heart. It is such a beautiful purple, such a lovely colour, and it goes down very well with a lot of my customers. And I think this style is one of my favourites again. Just with this little extra hook. Don't know if there is a purpose for it, or even if there is a knife that actually comes like it. There might be. It was just something that was in my head that I thought would look quite nice. And I'm glad that I've done it, because after a little bit of shaping, it actually has turned out quite nice. So that's the other thing. If there's any knives here that you know actually the style of, then let me know what they are. I'm always interested in learning new things, because I'm not sure if there's any of these that have any actual place in the knife world. They just come out of my head. That's that one in oak. You can see it has an actual nice profile to the blade as well. So has the oil first the wax made a difference. Colouring or anything else. And in my opinion, again, this one's got a bit of a tighter grain. Probably closer to this one. In my opinion, I don't think it has. That's those two. Colours are pretty much spot on to each other, so, and the feel, the texture is basically the same as well. There's no real difference between it. Just be curious as to now which one's going to be more hard wearing. So that's that one, that's Kiat. It's a lovely exotic hardwood. The only thing I'm not keen on is the smell when I cut it. But it is a beautiful grain pattern, and again, but like I say, when I made the workshop, when I built it with a certain purpose in mind, and it's far succeeded there. You know, it's been really, really brilliant place to work in. I've had a lot of projects out of this workshop already. It's only been up, I think, a year or two, give or take. I think about 2 at the moment. I'd have to check with the governor and see what she says, but I'm sure it's about 2. Yeah, so I want to change it up just to make it better for the sort of stuff that I'm working on now. So it's a bit more flexible. So when I get around to doing it, when I get around to changing it all up, I will put a video up as well. Now you could join me for the craziness that will be going through my head into what's gonna come with this space. So it's not a big space. It's 14 foot from end to end this way and 7 foot this way. So it's not the biggest. It's long, it's decent that way. It's not the deepest this way, and it was just the space that was confined to. But it has worked really well for me. But it's more the internal that I'm going to rejig. I would love to redo the whole thing, build it bigger. Of course, they can always have a bigger workshop, can't we? But just make the internal a bit more easier to work in, easier to manoeuvre in. And like I say, I have that plan in my head on how I want to do it. Almost there. Right, that is the last one done. That was one of the redwood ones. I'll get a picture of them all together, just so you can see what they look like, and I'll put it up at the end of the video. But that is it, all done. And I am very happy, I must say. Also, I think I've mentioned it in the video already, if I've left that part in, they will be up on the website soon enough. I've just got a bit more updating to do on it, then I'll push it a bit more. But if you want any, you'll be able to find them on there. If you want them, if you want to buy one, then you can comment or send me a message. You'll be able to find it on my other socials and that as well. Send me a message and I'll get one shipped out to you. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for all those subscribers that are here with us, all the new ones that have joined recently. Very, very much appreciate it, as always. Yeah, for all those who are watching that have not subscribed, thank you very much for the views. I appreciate it all. You know, it all helps out. But that little bit extra that you could do for me is push that subscribe button, and it will help me grow the channel, make it a bit more, make it so I can get a few more products out, a few more videos out for you guys as well, if you enjoy watching anything. If there is anything you guys would like to watch me build, whether it's something I've built previously, you'd like a bit more in depth on it, then let me know. If it's something that you've seen around and you think that's cool. If you want to watch someone build that, again, let me know. You know, I'm open to do weird things, wacky things, and then we can go from there. But for now, I've dragged this on long enough. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.